ladies and gentlemen, this is your boy Caseyville, King Self for Life, here to give you my honest take about Ring of Honor SuperCard of Honor pay-per-view, now produced by none other than Mr. I Snort Cocaine, Tony Khan. Tony Khan came through, and he gave us a pretty good, solid pay-per-view. For somebody who really didn't mess with Ring of Honor, this is my second Ring of Honor pay-per-view. I'm actually getting used to the format, and it kind of feels a little bit like AEW, but it feels like a new promotion that he's running. So let's go ahead and break down this show. We open up the show, Alex Zane versus AEW's own Swerve Strickland. The match for me, it started off kind of slow because I've never seen this Alex Zane cat wrestle before. Him and Swerve actually blew the house off because everybody in this arena was going up. It was going nuts. They was talking about whose house, Swerve's house. These two was out there just putting in their work. I was looking at them, like I said, it kind of started off kind of slow for me. But after a while, things started picking up, and my man Swerve actually got the victory. I was like, because I wasn't sure which way TK was going. He said, no, I'm going to make sure that my man Swerve get this victory because I've been having Swerve look like a punk as of late. So I'm going to go ahead and have him come through and get the victory, and that's exactly what happened. Like I said, this Zane cat got some promise. So kudos to the two of them putting on a good match. So we get to the next match. Now, this cat named Ninja Mac, they call him the Mac Daddy. He got the opportunity to go against Tully Blanchard's new employee or client. Now, Tully Blanchard was on the pre-show. I didn't watch. I looked at the pre-show, but I didn't look at the full pre-show. So I'm really not going to review that. I'm just going to review the main card. That's what I'm going with. Tully Blanchard's new protege or client is none other than AEW's own Brian Cage. He's back. It looks like he's in excellent shape. He got the Mohawk thing going again. This matchup was basically a beatdown. This wasn't really a match. Ninja Mac didn't really do anything. Ninja Mac basically got squashed. This was basically Brian Cage back here putting his dominance back in. So we're going to see what Tully Blanchard's new clique that he's running now, because he's no longer with the Pinnacle. He is now the new consultant of these new three cats, which is Brian Cage, Khan, and I don't know what the other cat name is. I don't know his name. They call themselves Tully Blanchard Enterprises, which is Gates of Agony, which is Khan, and Toa Leona. Leona, that's his name. Toa Leona. Not sure who he is. I've seen Khan on Dark, so I know who Khan is, but I'm not sure who this Toa Leona got. And now we have Brian Cage. So we're going to see what Tully does with this Tully Blanchard Enterprises. We're going to see how this stable works. But this is just basically to let you know that the Trios titles is around the corner, ladies and gentlemen. The Trios titles are around the corner. So that was that. Now, we get to this matchup. This was Jay Lethal versus Lee Moriarty with Matt Sydal. Now, Matt Sydal has been sidelined with a leg injury. He came out on the crutches and everything. Same scenario with Swerve and Alex Zane. Jay Lethal and Lee Moriarty kind of started off slow, but after a while, these two was out there just out wrestling each other. One kept trying to get a moveset done on this one, then he was trying to pin him, then he was trying to pin him, and they made you think that either one of these cats could win. Now, Sanjay Dutt was out there because Sanjay Dutt is best friends with Jay Lethal. With all the stuff going on inside the match, Jay Lethal somehow caused a distraction. And the whole story about Jay Lethal is he just can't win. He's lost like crazy in Dynamite. Like, people say he was winning on Dark. No, Dark doesn't mean anything. Dark is only designed for you to just get better in ring. So when TK calls you up for TV, you must be TV ready. But winning on Dark and Elevation don't mean a goddamn thing. But on TV, Jay Lethal was losing everything. My man Jay Lethal couldn't beat Lee Moriarty without cheating. He gives a clean heel low blow. Referee wasn't paying attention, and he gets the victory. Lee Moriarty is defeated. And I was sitting up there saying exactly what I didn't want. I didn't want to see another brother turn heel, but the crowd marked out. The crowd was like, it was an excellent story. this also gives sympathy for my man Lee Moriarty. But I was like, man, another brother turned heel, another brother gone to the dark side. My goodness. So Sanjay was like, man, what are you doing? Like, you didn't have to resort to that. Jay Lethal just shrugged it off. He didn't care. Jay Lethal just didn't care. He said, screw it. This is the only way I'm going to be able to do it. This is the only way I'm going to get wins. I can't win by being the good guy. I just can't. I'm going to have to be a sneaky, conniving son of a gun. That's what I got to be. I got to be a straight up punk. And that's what Jay Lethal decided to do. So he decided to go that route. So that's that. So like I said, match was fire though. I mean, they was tearing each other up. I give both of them an outstanding performance. Lee Moriarty was out there shining. Jay Lethal decided to go the punk move. I was like, man, come on now. But that's that. So we move on. And I just talked about all that stuff, situation. So like I said, they went to the back and all that stuff. We get the ladies. So we get... Now, this is where TK needs to quit with this interim foolishness. You didn't have to have an interim women's championship match for this. You just didn't. I know the Virtuoso is stuck in Impact Land. I'm talking about Deonna Purrazzo because obviously Deonna Purrazzo is the current Ring of Honor's champion. This matchup could have been just for the number one contender. You don't have to... I don't know what's TK's fascination. Like, it seems like he's stuck in WWE land back when it was WrestleMania 10 when Shawn Michaels had the Intercontinental Championship and Razor Ramon had the Intercontinental Championship, and therefore that seems like he just stuck there. You don't have to go that route. This could have just been a number one contendership match to determine who's going to face the Virtuoso when the time calls for it. Now, for this matchup, you know I know who Mercedes Martinez is. Now, I've seen this Willow Nightingale girl before, but I wanted to get an opportunity to see another matchup. The young lady has character. I'm not saying that she reminds me of her based on what she looked like, but she just reminds me of her. Now, I'm not saying this, this is not a knock against her or nothing like that. She reminds me of if Lizzo was a wrestler. I don't know why I feel like every time I'm looking at her, I'm looking at Lizzo. Now, I don't know if she can sing. Maybe she can sing, but her and Mercedes. Now, a lot of people, I ain't gonna lie, I was rooting for Willow. I actually wanted to see Willow win because I actually had her winning. I was like, I think Willow might win this because I'm like, Mercedes is doing her thing in AEW land. Why not just get this to Willow? No. Mercedes ended up getting the victory, and it seemed like a lot of people was like, Willow got robbed. I agree. I think Willow should have won. Now, when it comes to match-wise, this is an okay match. I think the young lady Willow, I think she still needs some in-ring work. Now, I'm not saying she's bad. I'm not saying she's green, because if anytime you say somebody is green, that means that they need to go back to the drawing board. No. This young lady actually can go. She's pretty good. I mean, I wanted to see her win, even with me saying that she still needs to get some work in. Because Mercedes, I mean, look, you know what you're going to get from Mercedes. Now, I'm not really the biggest Mercedes Martinez fan, but I know Mercedes Martinez knows exactly what she's doing. So, you can say that Willow was the best dance partner from Mercedes, but at the end of the day, I think Willow should have won. But the fact that TK probably went with Mercedes because he feels that Mercedes is the better wrestler. So, that's that. So, like I said, the girls, they did okay. So now, Mercedes will be going against the Virtuoso. Now, not sure exactly when that's going to be, but as of right now, she is the new interim Ring of Honor Women's Champion. No, she should have just been the number one contender. That's how it should have been. TK gets too caught up in that stuff. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me go ahead and say it right now. Just based off the build up with them, they did no type of building on television whatsoever. The whole build up to this matchup right here was just based off of social media. With them going back and forth talking about who's the best tag team and calling each other out each other's name. Ladies and gentlemen, for somebody who, I like tag team wrestling, but I'm not the biggest tag team wrestling fan because I prefer singles wrestling. Ladies and gentlemen, this by far was the best match on the freaking show. The Briscoes versus FTR. Jay Briscoe, Mark Briscoe versus Dak Harwood and Cash Wheeler. This match was excellent. People be always taking a shot at Dax and Cash. Man, these cats are some of the best tag team wrestlers you would ever see in your life. And Jay and Mark Briscoe ain't bad themselves. They are very good. And when I say these cats went to war, my goodness, these cats, they tore each other up. They destroyed each other. I mean, busting each other open. I mean, nobody wanted to lose this match. Nobody wanted to lose. It was for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team titles. Man, listen. Y'all, listen, I don't usually be getting caught up in the whole match of the year and all that. Listen, this could potentially be match of the year. This could be a candidate because this matchup was excellent. This matchup was great. I'm serious. I saw this, just the stuff that was taking place in this match. Cats going all over the place. You had everything. When you got the flips and dives versus the old school, and the fact that the Briscoes are old school as well, you mix it up with FTR, who are old school, and they pound for pound, they was hitting each other for real. Listen, this was great. This was excellent. I'm going to keep saying it till I'm blue in the face. By far, the best match on the freaking show. This matchup was, and the crowd was so into it. Fans was literally saying F WrestleMania before the match even started. That's just messed up. That's sad, man. That's sad. The fact that they were saying screw WrestleMania, this is the best match right here. I'd rather watch this matchup than pay any attention to what's going on down the street. Because all of this took place right outside of where they was at. They all was in Texas. Everybody was in, because that's where WrestleMania time was at. So, man, they tore each other up until we got to the very end. Now, I was sitting up here watching this, and I'm like, I was like, man, I don't know who's going to win this thing. Dax and Cash got the victory, and now they are your new Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champs. And I said, man, so after the match, they put the titles in front of them, they bow, they hug up, they greet, and then who come out the woodwork? Listen, people was getting on my case because of what I said. Who comes out the woodwork? Them dang young bucks. Those clowns. They came out the woodwork. They sweet chin music, the Briscoes, doing all kind of stuff. They even brought Brandon Cutler, the old goofy behind with them. I said, man, I can't stand these clowns, man. I used to like the Young Bucks. I can't stand their behinds. Now, let me tell you something. Now, when I mean I can't stand their behinds, it's not saying that I don't like the Young Bucks. I'm saying I can't stand their behinds because they doing their job. Their job is for me not to like their behinds, and that's exactly what it is. I ain't liking their behinds, and what they did, that was terrible. You coming in there, you messing up a beautiful moment between these cats who just put everything out there. Just this matchup alone is why everybody bought the pay-per-view. A lot of people weren't really even thinking about the main event. They was focusing more on the Briscoes versus FTR. Because to me, this felt more like a main event than the actual main event. I'm going to get to the main event. But these cats tore each other up. I'm telling y'all. I was like, man. So they super kicked them. They ran off. And then they hopped on the mic. And Dax and them said, where you clowns are going? Since you running around here thinking y'all the best tag team. Well, since we in the giving mood, no disrespect to you, TK, but listen, we ain't thinking about waiting on no Dynamite. Let's put these tag team titles on the line right here. Everybody was like, yes, yes, yes. And then so the Young Bucks like, yeah, so you want us to do that? You want us to be in the giving mood? You want us to do the right thing? So let's do it. Psych. We'll see you clowns this Wednesday on Dynamite. The typical heel move, you know what I'm saying? And they bounce. But this is definitely the match of the night. Right here. When I say worth the hype, and all they used was social media. It wasn't done on TV because of what took place. You know, Time Warner didn't want the Briscoes on television, which is kind of messed up because the Briscoes are great. You know, I told you I ain't down with all the buffoonery that they said and did and all that stuff. But them cats is good. And the fact that they tangled it up with Dax and Cash, man, listen, it just seems like when Cash and Dax get with cats that got great chemistry, tag team match is gonna be great. It's just how it is, man. FTR is great. I take my hat off to Dax. I take my hat off to Cash. This was a huge come up when they decided to come over to AEW. I wasn't thinking that they was gonna be this great. Man, they was a huge come up coming to AEW. Huge. So that's my take on that match, man. So bravos to them, bravos to all that. So talk about all that. So now we get to the Ring of Honor Television Championship. Rhea Titus, the champion, versus Mr. Minoru Suzuki. Now, ladies and gentlemen, for somebody who really don't know Minoru Suzuki, I've been seeing a couple of matches of his and everything. Everybody love this cat. I still need to see more of this dude. Like I said, I'm not into him like a lot of y'all are. I'm going to be honest with you. I did see Miro win this match. I did. But he came through and he handled the business real quick. It was like 5 minutes. And he took the championship off dude like it was nothing. So Miro is in the States now. He's here. People been like, man, we need more Suzuki. We need more Suzuki. Well, you going to get more Suzuki because he in the States. He's in the States now. He got the championship, so you will see him on television a whole lot more. So, congratulations to him. So, we got this matchup. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I didn't see this happen. We got Josh Woods, the Ring of Honor Pure Champion, versus Wheeler Yuta. Now, Wheeler Yuta, he's been blowing up. So, like, he's been blowing up. He didn't, hanging out with Daniel Bryan, Regal and them, didn't change his life forever. Now he come to Ring of Honor, come on the pay-per-view, and they ain't there carry Josh Woods. I know who Josh Woods is because I seen it from that other pay-per-view, and I'm gonna be honest with you, he alright, but Wheeler kind of carried him, and I didn't see Wheeler win. I had Josh Woods retaining. My man Wheeler Yuta is the new pure Ring of Honor champion. I said, oh snap. Wheeler Yuta is in that. Vince, oh my goodness. Tony Khan ain't playing with this young man. He's really pushing this young man. He's really pushing him. And I'm like, okay, Wheeler Yuta, you don't notice now, sir. You won't notice. Tony Khan is entrusting you to carry this pure championship and put some meaning behind it. So, congratulations to Mr. Yuta. Congratulations, sir. Wheeler, you on your way. That's great. They went out there, they did what they had to do. Like I said, I personally feel that Yuta carried the match. That's just me. That's my own take. So we got video packages. Now we get into the main event. So let's be 1,000% with y'all. There's a lot of cats that I mess with that was talking about they think Josh Gresham is boring. Ladies and gentlemen, I told you, certain cats, the way how they wrestle, they don't wrestle. They not gonna give you a bunch of flips and dives. We get carried away by the flips and dives. Flips and dives ain't the way to go. Everybody don't need to be doing flips and dives all the time. And that's Josh Gresham. Josh Gresham is a mat-based wrestler. Mr. Octopus is a mat-based wrestler. That's what I'm getting out of him. Cats are calling him Daniel Bryan. They're calling him the Black Daniel Bryan. Oh, if you want to call him that, fine. To me, he's just a strictly mat-based wrestler. And cats, sometimes they find that to be boring. Listen, if that's the case, you might as well quit watching wrestling because there's a lot of that takes place, and a lot of wrestlers do a lot of that. So if we're going to call Josh Gresham boring, we might as well call everybody else boring too, because everybody's doing the same thing. See, I think personally is the fact that, let me tell you something. This is what a lot of people don't want to talk about. See, a lot of people really don't know how to judge black wrestlers because we so used to black wrestlers always coming in and doing some kind of shucking and jiving moment and doing some kind of buffoonish stuff, and therefore the buffoonish stuff is what helps them quote unquote get over, right? Well, you got somebody like a Jonathan Gresham who ain't cooning, he ain't buck dancing. He run around with an octopus mask. I still don't understand the octopus man. Somebody gonna have to tell me that in the comment section. But he ain't buck dancing. And see, that's one of the biggest problems. A lot of people think if you black, you got to buck dance. No, you don't. That's what I want to get rid of. I want that to be killed. I'm tired of the stereotypical black wrestler that seems that's the only thing to get him over is the buck dancing. Sure, you can have character, but you ain't got to be shucking and jiving. And see, Jonathan Gresham doesn't buck dance, and that's one of the major reasons why a lot of people ain't feeling him. Now, I've never seen this Bandino cat. Apparently, Chavo was his manager. I don't know how the heck that happened, but Chavo was his manager. Bandino, according to how the promo was, Jonathan Gresham said that I just can't beat him any old kind of way. I gotta beat him and attack his heart because he's gonna beat me psychologically. This matchup was all about it was a psychological type of match. I've never seen this Bandino cat win. Now it's funny how his name is Bandino. You would think he would be a bandit, right? Hanging out with Chavo, correct? No, because throughout the match, Chavo was doing everything in his power to cheat, and Bandino kept looking at that man and said, "Dude, I'm not trying to cheat." That was the story. The story was Bandino's going to, if he's going to beat Gresham, he's going to beat him fair and square. Chavo wanted to cheat, and he cheated all throughout the entire match. And at first, the match did start off slow because, like I said, Jonathan Gresham is one of those mat-based wrestlers. Well, if y'all calling him Daniel Bryan, I thought y'all loved Daniel Bryan. Y'all love mat wrestling wrestlers, correct? But that's exactly what Jonathan Gresham is. He just so happened to be black and small. We going there. I'm going to take it there. Because if y'all calling him Daniel Bryan, then you might as well say Daniel Bryan's born. Daniel Bryan's not born. I'm serious. Like, we got to make this stuff make sense. We got to make it make sense. But the part where this matchup picked up was when Bandino was holding Jonathan Gresham up on his head and the audience was counting. And this is when the audience kind of picked up. They was like, okay, we got to get into it. And from that point on, that's when the match picked up. They was both doing the movesets on each other, both of them trying to pin one another. And like I said, all this is going on with Chavo trying to cheat. And my referee called Chavo. He called him. And he said, you got to get the heck up out of here. So it just came down to the two of them. Like I said, Bandino said, if I'm going to beat Gresham, I'm going to beat him fair and square. So kudos to Bandino for sticking to being, because obviously I guess he was a baby face. Kudos to Bandino for doing the right. Jonathan Gresham ends up getting the victory. He is now your undisputed Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion. So Jonathan Gresham hops on the mic and he says, I told y'all from the beginning, I'm Ring of Honor through and through. And I was going to represent this company as the best wrestler as I could possibly be. Well, he gets interrupted by none other than the man who didn't turn and is now a new heel, Mr. Jay Lethal. Jay Lethal interrupts him. He said, well, since you got both titles now, I believe you owe me another shot. And Jonathan Gresham said, listen, sir, by all due respect, because of what you decided to do, I'm not giving you nothing. And so from that point on, he said, well, if you're not going to give me nothing, I'm going to beat the snot out of you. Well, that's exactly what he did. And Sanjay Dutt ran down, man. He was like, yo, Jay, what are you doing? And that's when Sanjay Dutt showed his true colors. Sanjay Dutt is now a heel with with Jay Lethal. And the two of them jumped Jonathan Gresham. Now, as they jumping him, Lee Moriarty comes out. Lee Moriarty comes out to try to save the day. He gets jumped by him. After Lee gets jumped. Now, Tony Khan has said earlier, he said, if you are not watching Ring of Honor, he said you're going to regret missing the last part. You're going to not want to leave. You do not want to turn down. He said you're going to regret it forever. And man, did he back it up. The music goes off. And I really wasn't picking up on the music until the man walks out with the towel on his head. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Samoa Joe is all elite wrestling. Ladies and gentlemen, Tony Khan ain't playing. Samoa Joe is in the building. He came out, got rid of Jay Lethal, helped Jonathan Gresham up. Ladies and gentlemen, this story is finna get crazy. Whenever Ring of Honor gets a TV deal, you best believe I'm going to be covering Ring of Honor. I wasn't sure how I was going to be feeling about it because I said TK was on notice. And I got to give him props. Young man did it again. That cocaine he be snorting must be pretty good. And I'm not sitting up here endorsing coke because I don't snort, but I know cocaine. I know he does something. I know that man do something. But listen, Tony Khan, great job, sir. What do I give this show? I'm going to be 1,000% with you. I'm going to give this show an 8. This is an 8 out of 10. I'm not going to go 9. I'm not going to go 10. Because like I said, I told you some of the things that I wasn't liking. How did I feel about the production? You know what? The production kind of felt similar to AEW, but it's a different program. You can tell it's a different program, but you do get the fact that this is somewhat tied to AEW, and the fact that you had AEW clowns all over this show, so you couldn't help but tie that together. But outside of that, hey, 8 out of 10 for me. I'm looking forward to the new television show whenever TK gets this. So let's go ahead and let's talk about Rampage. Let me go ahead and type it up. Hold on. Typing it up live right now. Loading up. And they got Rampage from all the way back then. All this gonna be on the show. Let's see, April 1st, right? So while we get Rampage up, hey, they ain't got it up. Where's that? Normally they be on it. They ain't on it. So you know what? Let me go ahead and look it up over here somewhere. Excuse me. Alright, so how did I feel about Rampage? Rampage is okay. Just like last week, the main event saved the show. Let's go ahead and break down this episode of Rampage. We kicked the show off with none other than everybody's so-called favorite tag team, the Young Bucks, taking on my boys, the Top Flight. Ladies and gentlemen, this was basically a spot fest. Let me jump on you and I jump on you, and then I'll do my cheating and then get the heck out of here. And that's exactly what the Bucks did. They basically, they listen. Top Flight did something, but you already know. You know Top Flight wasn't doing anything. Y'all should already know how that worked. They wasn't doing nothing. And sure enough, Young Bucks win. Obviously, Young Bucks had to win because of what took place at Ring of Honor SuperCard, because those clowns was at the show. So, but like I said, man, I wish they didn't put Top Flight in this picture. You could have put somebody else in the picture, because I'm tired of seeing my guys just look like clowns, because that's all they are. Right now, Top Flight are nothing but circus clowns. They're doing absolutely nothing with them. And I don't want to hear, well, they're on TV. Look, being on TV don't mean nothing. I told you, when you on television, you got to win. If you losing every day on television, it's a waste of time. So let's go ahead and get to the next segment. We had a backstage. Oh no, we had in-ring promo. Mr. Dan Lambert and his crew, Ethan Page and the AEW TNT champion himself, Scorpion Sky, talking about how the 2 prom date jokes basically messed up and disintegrated their title, putting all that mess. And what did they have Fuego del Sol recording all the stuff? And as they talking and making jokes and all that stuff, Sammy and Tay pop up on TV and say, since y'all don't want to give us a shot, hey, I think this belongs to you. Taya and Sammy had on 2 sledgehammers, and they basically destroyed Dan Lambert's vehicle. So that was pretty much the segment. So obviously this is the storyline. So obviously Sammy gonna get one more shot. He's gonna get one more opportunity to take on Mr. Scorpion Sky. Now we know he's not winning, but that's the story. So obviously it's something. It's something that they're involved in, So they tried their best to look like, oh, we're all that in a bag of chips. We destroyed your car. It was okay, it wasn't too much. But now to me, this was a handicap match. We got Fuego del Sol, Evil Uno, Stu Grayson versus the House of Black. Listen, all this was about is how much of a beating can Fuego del Sol take, because Evil Uno and Stu Grayson really ain't do nothing. All I remember Evil Uno and Stu Grayson doing was standing outside waiting on them to throw Fuego del Sol into him. That's all. I remember JR said that it seemed like that's all cats know how to do nowadays, is just stand there, look silly, wait for somebody to jump on them. I'm like, that moveset has been done so much, that's why it really doesn't impress me anymore, because I've seen it 50 million times. Cats literally do be standing out there looking dumb as heck, waiting on somebody to just come jump on them. I'm like, come on, y'all. Like, do something else. But you already knew what was going to happen. House of Black get the victory. Fuego del Sol got jumped. Like I said, it was a handicap match. This is pretty much Fuego del Sol trying to take on the House of Black. So, we get the next matchup, which is the Owen Hart Women's Memorial Cup qualification match. Sky Blue versus Mrs. Jamie Hayter. Now, they mentioned on commentary that as of right now, Mrs. Britt Baker is on boycott from AEW until they get back to her hometown, which is in Pittsburgh. Obviously, this is just for her to get her rest on. Now, everybody saw her at the WrestleCon. I seen pictures of her. She was out there, so she pretty much going. Her and Adam Cole going to WrestleMania. They gonna be at WrestleMania, so that's where they at. TK really don't give a care what they do, because a lot of people be doing a whole lot of stuff during WrestleMania week and all that stuff. So, but like I said, she being able to chill. That's good. That's all that. I'm gonna be honest with you. I thought this was actually a pretty solid match. Jamie obviously carried the match. I appreciate what Hayter tried to do. Hayter did everything in her power to make Blue look like she belonged in the ring. So, like I said, that's kudos to Jamie. So Jamie gets the victory, and now she's next to join Toni Storm in the women's Owen Hart Memorial Cup qualification. Now, before we get here, we got another promo segment with who am I leaving out? I'm leaving somebody out. We had Hook and Tony Schiavone talking, and who comes out of nowhere? This Danhausen clown. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I told you, I'm not really up to par on this guy. I'm not. I don't really know what to, I guess he's just a clown. That's all he is. Like, he don't do nothing. Now, people say he can wrestle. I'm going to have to wait and see what happens. But what they trying to do, they had him try to put a curse on Hook. Hook looked at him again and walked off like, clown, what do you want? What do you want with me? I don't know. Go somewhere. And I said, I found it pretty funny that Tony Schiavone was trying to get words out of Hook. Hook ain't going to say nothing. That's his gimmick. He don't talk. He's a mute. He don't say anything. And as long as we're going to stay with that, we just stay with it. But Danhausen came out the woodwork talking, sounding dumb. I'm going to put a curse on. Then we get a video package with Chris Statlander about how everything that's been transpiring with her situation with Red, her situation with Layla. And she said, there's a new Chris Statlander in town and you haven't seen anything yet or something like that. I'm going to see where this goes. I'm not sure exactly what's next. I told you, I think the roles are reversed. They could have did something with the alien thing. The deal was Chris should have been a heel, because she could have been running around abducting girls and it would have been great. But TK said, no, I'm going to do something else. So hopefully this new... Now listen, don't get me wrong. She looks excellent. I everything that I see, she looks great. So we're going to see how it turns out. Now, we get to the main event. Ladies and gentlemen, TK is doing right for this right here. The reason why I'm going to say he's doing right is because he's allowing us to speak in front of everybody. The opportunity to do this side by side. You're talking in front of the audience. Mark Henry is in the middle. Mark Henry started talking to Keith. Powerhouse interrupts Mark and said, whoa, Mark, how come you ain't come to me first? Listen, am I quote unquote supposed to be my brother's keeper? Well, Mr. Keith, I'm coming in. I'm going to lay your behind out when I see you. And then Keith started going on talking about some philosophy about you don't study fiction and all of this, but you don't understand who you dealing with because you don't know the real Keith Lee, and you ain't seen yet. You ain't seen what he said. He said you ain't seen me yet, or something like that. But I like the fact that Tony Khan allowed them to speak, and I really like out of both of them. I really enjoyed hearing Hobbs, because one thing I can say, putting Hobbs with Taz was one of the best decisions Tony Khan ever made. He's growing. He's getting better on the mic. I'm like, dude, talk your stuff. And like I said, Keith Lee sound like an elegant man, but he's very dangerous when you get in the ring. Well, obviously this was the match of the night. These two bohemians tore each other up. Hobbs was looking like he couldn't do nothing with Keith. Keith. Listen, they was manhandling each other. So with all the stuff going on in the ring, my man Ricky Starks said, I had enough. Ricky Starks ran up to the ring, and he was finna whack Keith Lee. Keith Lee punched the chair, and the chair hit Ricky Starks in the eyelid, or on top of his eye right here, and it busted him open a little bit. So now, doing all the stuff going on outside the ring, oh yeah, and Isaiah Swerve showed up. Swerve Strickland, he showed up. So all the commotion going on outside the ring, Powerhouse Hobbs actually did a move on Keith Lee, and all he had to do was get the 1, 2, 3. Referee was distracted. Hobbs had the match won, but y'all already know how that worked. Keith Lee did the move on him, and he got the 1, 2, 3. Well, that wasn't the end. After that, they just started jumping Keith Lee. They jumped Swerve. Ricky Starks threw Swerve through a doggone table, laid him out. Then they got in the ring, brought the table up in the ring, and Hobbs then speared Keith Lee to a table. I said, listen, Hobbs is working his heel roll. He's working it. My man's is working it. He's working it. I said, look at it. If we gonna push one as a heel and we push the other as a baby face, by all means do it. But I'm loving it. I'm loving it. And like I said, I would prefer they waited to do this at a pay-per-view, but this ain't nowhere near over. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna get a tag team match. We're going to get a tag team match. I'm not sure if they're going to do it on that. I don't know when they're going to do it. But it's coming. Keith Lee gets the victory. But like I said, Keith Lee ends up getting jumped at the end. Hobbs looked at that man and said, I told you, man, this is my show. Excellent ending. Just like last week, the main event saved the show. I mean, like I said, Rampage was okay, but the main event was the best part. What I was looking forward to turned out to be the best part of the show. The brothers going at it. Keith Lee and Powerhouse, they work together. They gel off each other. I want to see more of this. I told you, I want TK to build both of these brothers up at the same time, because I believe both of these cats could be AEW World Heavyweight Champion in 2 years from now. Well, a year or two from now, because you got so many different people that you want to push. Because I'm depending on how long certain people's reigns are going to be. Like, I want to see it. I want to see my man Hobbs get the title. I want to see my man Lee get the title. Trust me, I do. But, like I said, not right now, though. But whatever TK is doing with them, keep it up. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my honest review. I review both shows. WrestleMania is tomorrow, night one. I come on here and get my honest take about the show. I heard the Hall of Fame show was decent from what I'm told. That's that. Y'all already know what to do. Hit the comment section up. Tell me how to feel. Tell me how you felt about everything. If you watched Ring of Honor SuperCard, did you feel great about the show? If you watched Rampage, tell me how you felt about the show. That's that, man. If you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. Hit the like button. Y'all already know what to do. This your boy Caseyville, King Self for Life Wrestling Takes. I'm gone.